Oh wow. Breath, secure. That ain't what he does, man. Getting into the true reality of things, yo. It's the year of him coming upon us real soon. Or the ram. You know, that's we see the ram a lot, whether it's involved in Aries or Ra or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Getting down with the get down, yo. Get down with the get down. It's tight. This is why it's very important for us now. You know, you already see it in the comments. Shit, you know, before they try to mess with the broadcast. True Sabbath is approaching. You know, a lot of our brothers and sisters are still doing Saturday, you know, Sabbaths or whatever day they choose to do with the Sabbath for their own rest. You know, because you know they got to go to work and stuff like that. That just proves that you know the system is against the Most High. Yeah, man, it's something else. They use bits and pieces of the Most High's creation, though. They use all little bits and pieces. They use a little zodiacs and stuff like that. What we got going on for your sign today? You know, they use some of that little science. Like, oh well, I'm a Capricorn. Yeah. They talk about little things to keep you off, you know, who truly is. That inner light, man. So this is how they keep us distracted. They keep you away from, you know, cultivating your inner light, man. Your inner light is very important and vital to the vibration of this whole entire Earth plane. Man. All of us, even one person in the vicinity of like 100 miles, man, is very important. Can raise the vibration of the entire area. So just imagine when all of us is up. We're all damn near together. It's gonna draw us together. Let me see if I can get somebody for y'all, man. I know I'm taking forever, 300 days. Yo, I found my stone today that I damn near misplaced too. That was something else. I don't know how I misplaced it. I looked over there for it, man, and man, I couldn't find it. I couldn't believe it. I just let it go. I thought I lost that one all the way. Lo and behold, I found it in the mud. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, it's very important now, more than ever, to bring the kingdom on earth in the mind first. The kingdom of heaven is within. That's what, you know, our homie said, you know what I'm saying? That nigga Jesus. I don't want to say Jesus. Yeshua, Joshua, or Yahweh Shai. They would call, you know, Jesus or whatnot. You know, yeah, all of these things, this is what we would have to do. We have to raise that light, that oil that your body produces. You have to, it descends down your vertebrae and gets down to your solar plexus. When it gets down there, it bursts this like light. With this light, it starts to grow up. What we have to do, we already knew this before, so this is why you'll see information now. I'm gonna start posting links because a lot of individuals can't do this right here. This is how we're going to get back online. So you raise the light up every month. So with the Zodiac is, you know, that's part of the Most High's, you know, science too, because they make fun of it by putting Zodiac signs in the newspapers and stuff like that. The Zodiac, when you're dealing with the moon is very important. There's a lot of controversy around the moon because people want to take pride or want to take power in that moon. But the moon, whenever the moon is in your sun sign, meaning that, and when it transit around the zodiacs, it goes the fastest. When it gets into your sun sign, that's when you pretty much is at your horniest. And also, this is when the seed is at its time where it's laying to rest, and it has to take time for it to go up to each chakra. Hey, what's happening? I want to make sure I can see it. It's hard to see because it's kind of light outside. We finally got the sun. It was covering up the sun. I got some UVs on the knocker right now, so I feel real good. This is how we get into the kingdom, y'all. Because before we even manifest it on earth, we're gonna have to show and discipline our physical bodies right now. And that's through the Kundalini energy. It's very important because this is how they molested us and was able to keep us, occupied through the molestation of our Kundalini energies and not cultivating it and giving it away so freely. So I just drew it up, you know what I mean? You got the 33 vertebrae. Basically, boom, when you get to the top into the brain, where this light crosses the vagus nerve, boom, it starts to descend and it sends gifts down the chimney, which is like where that Santa Claus shit come from. And every month you get stronger and stronger. Every year, every long count, we all are doing it. And we're able to get to the crown chakra and be ascended. So this is how we're gonna bring this down our earth, because ain't no other way we're gonna put our money into things, and we're still trading with people with foreign faces on the bills, and we may have to come up with cryptocurrencies and all these different things when we're not cultivating. Ain't no way we're gonna deal in equality with this no more. People do corrupt things for money, but Most High know that your energy is actually fastened from self-equality or busting, having orgasms, busting nuts and shit like that. And the universe knows it. You get rewarded from the universe. It ain't no lie. They don't lie. It don't lie to you, man. Your energy can touch another individuals and they're lit. I had a mug wanted to touch the birds, and some birds, some of these mugs, not some of the birds, but some of these mugs, they don't want to. Soon they walk on the land, them birds be like, hey, nigga, I'm up, nigga. Like, you ever watch Belly and the dude's holding his baby and shit, and he seen dude coming over the Nas, he was like, yeah, man, but I got a dip, That's how they look, because mugs be coming towards me and shit, And so they'll leave far away, but when they're, they get cool, they'll extend their hand out, you know what I'm saying? So I had a mug touch their hand, they're like, oh, my hand's white, and they don't want to, I'm like, yeah, I got you, don't worry. Put our hand together, boom. We had Thuggy Dub, Debo Dub, all the thugs around was good day. You know what I mean? That day. So anyhow, though, that's what the Kundalini. Women respect this too, because in the future, it's not going to be like this. I don't want to say pussy, because pussy is really strong. It can take a beating, and a licking, and keep on ticking. So, but weak and shit. Being hella weak in the low self. They're not gonna have women in the next coming up, cycles. This is what determines you to be an alpha, really, because you can now cultivate, and master your Kundalini energy, getting into raise to the crown chakra, getting your electromagnetic. They push that button, they're like, nigga, nope. But you won't even want to be with individuals like you could be called 85ers or something, someone who's deaf, dumb, and blind, mentally, spiritually, and physically, and know the origins of the earth or the world type shit, or not even trying to know, or striving to know. You ain't gonna want to be. You already raised the plateau now. You're on a whole nother resurrection and shit while you're in the flesh. So it's like you're only gonna want to be individuals that does that, that do that. This is how we start getting our leagues back. We have our own football league. Like, fuck it, man. We have our own football league, man. I love, I like Deion Sanders. But the things that he tried to do to Jackson, he thought he wasn't gonna get unanswered. I'm like, Jackson is Jewtown, man. That's where all the chosen love people of black folks is at. If you ever, that's how like our last, that's what kind of motherfucker. Hold on, baby, I got y'all. Let me just break this down for you so y'all be cool with and shit. So and how it shows the cluster B personality disorder at its finest. The idolize, the value, and the discard. What happens, like and that's what he. Professional. I mean, they're. And not like that, but just famous, all the fame, that's just gonna come down. And a lot of things that these people do that, for money and for these bills and notes, and where they can't really share too much and invest in grocery stores amongst their, come together in a coalition from, the NFL players that it's like a mockery, like Brewster's Millions and shit. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever heard of Brewster's Millions? It's a movie with, Richard Pryor, and he was like, got all these millions, and if he can spend it like in 1 month, he can keep it and get more type stuff, but he can't give it away, and he can't make more with it. So it was like hard thing to do, and it's kind of like that's what the athletes and celebrities are doing right in front of our face, because we don't have no. Thanks for bearing with this, Scar. We're just keeping it real, man. You're dealing with an entity that gaslighted and projected all the insecurities on you, man, and you've been ruled upon these motherfuckers. So you think basically. Most I've been with a mug, but you're not at the highest heaven that you need to be at. And to get to that highest heaven is to be able to cultivate that energy from within every month. Once you get up to the 33rd vertebrae, that's when shit gets to popping. You get lit. All of us get lit. So we all desire to be around each other because they know we all been in this shit together. So we belong with each other. We're not here just to live regular ass lives and shit. Like, it's just not regular. You know, we're here to establish the Most High's kingdom on the earth plane, meaning that you have to establish it within first, and then it'll show, and all the things begin to manifest and materialize on the outside. That's pretty much what we're talking about. And how to get to it, you got to be celibate. And you know, anybody who's afraid of doing that, then, you know, at least 4 months, you know, to remain and maintain that 4-month look. Like, you know, the person that goes to the gym, he's not a gym rat all the way, but he'll go to the gym and he's kind of decently in shape, a little bit toned, but he's not like super swollen, ripped. That type of person, if you can maintain that type of physique, you know, that's around like the 4-month mark. But you still be running into a lot of devils that's on a low vibratory frequency. But for those who are considered, they're like, yo, they're priests and priestesses and all of that. Yeah, going up to the higher vibratory frequencies. Give me that, man. You ain't gonna need that. That's too big, you know? You got to go ahead and get up, you know, a few months. It's like a short count and a long count. Just look at it in the form of octaves, basically. You got, you know, 7 notes: do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, and do is the next octave. Then you got the 5 minor, so that's basically 12 notes. And that just goes to show we're going to establish, you know, the rites of passage a new way again. We're not like having children at 13 years old, 14 years old. We're not like the Africans. And I, you know, Africans, they cool, you know, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that go down with why we can't, you know, unite with one another. And it's a lot of reasons why they can't, you know, pull food from the soil over there. The Kundalini is a little bit low. You know, ours is high, man. You know what I mean? So we get to the point where we're going to establish, you know, when you start having the ability to have that, you know, that wet dream of busting nut. I never had a wet dream when I was younger, so I ain't had to have it until I started tapping from the tree, you know, and then that happened because that's later on in life. But some of us who are just a little bit, you know, who experience that, you're just in a different stage in your Kundalini development when you're at 12. You might be have a little bit more, you know what I mean, to tame. But anyhow, though, from 12 to 30, what do you say? From 12 to 33, that's 21 years. 12 and 21. 1 and 2 is 3, or 2 and 1 is 3. That's 33. You got 33 vertebrae. So it take from when you start being able to have an ability to bust a nut, from 12, you put 21 years onto that, boom. That's when you're starting to live life. That's when you become grown. You'll be lit at that point, 30-something years old. That's how Jesus, that's the whole story of Jesus. But we have to repent in this day and age. Even us being in 4 months is remarkable, you know. When we get up 7, 8 months, all the men, it just shows that we're striving. Our children are going to see it. The young is going to see it, and that's going to create the wave. We can do this overnight. This is what changes the whole frequency of the earth, like right away. Like, they won't be able to withstand us at this point, because now we're bringing the kingdom down on earth, and now we're going to have the backup. They know it's going to happen real soon. Because it's going to click to us. Like, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. And it's going to happen real fast because every day is a journey when you're dealing with, you know, celibacy and semen retention, because you get more powerful. The more you study, the more you look into it, the more you start seeing that, yo, man, this is where the kingdom is at. I got to make the light to the top, to the crown, where it sits and rests for a moment, and then boom. You know, I get my gifts again. And it happens over and over cycle. We learned this already as far as we can do this while in the flesh. Hey, what's happening? I'm trying to say 9087. I'm trying to see the name though, bro. Sorry about that. It's a lot of sunlight and I got a messed up phone. They be trying to attack my little communication devices and shit, you know. So I won't say nothing about single intention and getting the light to the crown chakra. We're up equality years, 6 years, 7 years, you know what I mean? And so you can't really, it's hard to talk about it as 7 days, you know. Even I commend people who talk about it at 1 month and 30 days, because I know how that feels multiple times. We got a big brother out here now that's like, yo, that can tell you how it is when you relax, so what to train, what you got to train, what you can't train. That's what we're here to do now, you know what I'm saying? So you make sure you won't be able to have that leakage and all that. You be hella electromagnetic. Right now I'm separate from all my brothers and shit, you know what I mean? But once we start hitting it, once I make a way for us shit to all come together on the land, and where he's going to be able to hold it down and protect us with fire around our shit. Like fire, like you back online now. Now you done got the light back up to the crown chakra. Now you showing them when you really want to get down and shit. But you know, we can talk a lot of shit, you know, in the world and be like, yo, this is our shit and da-da-da-da. But we ain't gonna want to do nothing because we busting nuts. It's not about smoking weed and shit, because hey, you cannot bust nuts and smoke weed and be fucking still. They like to call it weed. Shit, it's a fruit, and it's got seeds in it. You know what I mean? A lot of things in this world that we're supposed to be studying to get more spiritual developed. This is the time now. We're in a time now where we can actually blend the physical with the spirit. And this is what our ancestors were showing in all over the world in different cultures and all the cultures that was established, whether it's through, you know, Confucius, Buddha, you know, the Angkor Wat whole thing popping off, the prophecy of Amaru with the 50 Buddhas sitting on top of the 50 bells. You know what I mean? It's a whole breakdown of that, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's tight. And the real trade, the slave trade, with all that was putting in image. I'm gonna break that down too. You know what I mean? How we the knockers that was over there as well. So, but the Kundalini is how we cultivated our whole thing over there. That's like, yo, we basically see a whole bunch of enlightened, you know, people, beings, you know, that's Buddhist basically. You're Buddha, you're supposed to be enlightened, not like a cult, like they're trying to make it now, like a religion. But you already know how to sit down, chill, eat a boom, eat a shroom and shit, smoke a little something, and you just travel. Sit back for a second, cross up, sit next on the ground, cross up real fast, and boom. See, we got the seeds right here. These are seeds of all different plants. We got the peach seed, we got all kind of seeds. We got the, well, I'm saying it's another seed too. We got sunflower seed. And so, yeah, we're going to turn them into necklaces. We're going to gloss out the seeds and make necklaces out of the seeds, too. Because, you know, they got crystal energies, crystal power, and everything. That's what we are. We're silicon-based. So we're getting back online with that. You know, we're not corporate. We're not 666 beings. We're corporate, but we're that for a time. And now it's time to elevate that shit and get up to a higher notch. We're still going to be dancing. We're going to be even more athletic, you know, especially if you're professional. You know, it's not like you're in a cult. If you're athletic, you'll honor your body by not releasing and having orgasms. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're a professional, you know better not to do that. I would have been in the world, yo. He made me for they were. I'm from Mississippi. I would have been in all the sports, and I didn't want to make sure he exposed me to the shit. And my mom and dad got into the world. They did their part of the whole shit. So now I could have been horrible, but most I didn't want me to be like that. He already had me. He already knew me. But just to show you though, you could have been off. You know what I'm saying? And use my powers for evil and shit. But no, it's about cultivating this. Damn, that's great. Thank you, Mos. I appreciate you. So, you know what I'm saying? So I was able to cultivate this and break it down in like a psychological form where we can be like, okay, cluster B. Okay, so when we hear narcissism, we're like, oh, narcissism. You hear that a lot, but you can be like borderline personality. See, that's passed down genetically. And that's through different forms of molestation, you know, whether it's incest, born together, and, you know, with your family, or if it continued on without, beyond the learning phase type shit, you know, you understand that individuals are touched by certain, because we're by certain druges, so I don't want to jump by certain spirits that are able to get to them. And it's deep, because ancestors are basically your grandparents, and your grandparents got brothers and sisters, so they got homies, your uncles that like you as well, that'll help out. But your ancestors are basically all your grandparents that's lined up, and grandparents love to help their grandbabies, man. So you just disconnected. But when you mix the seed up, you have all kind of different babies from different joints, and it's like everything is like very hectic. So a period in heaven had to go down, because everything's real. A period in heaven had to go down where everything had to get organized again, so everybody can be lined up with their lineage, whether they mixed or not, because these mothers are trying to infiltrate into our heavens by any means necessary, whether it's through the genes, because they have the spirit that they have, you know, that can only operate the gene that they are able to use, which is recessive. And they know that the dominant gene is the one that's getting into the heaven, whether it's the second, the third resurrection, who has the potential to get to the higher resurrections and graduate off of the earth plane. You know, they know already that they are on the earth plane when they transition, or beneath it, because there's meaning that they're on like in a hell state, you know, in a hellish state of existence, and they go through that in the mind. And a lot of individuals who betray the chosen ones, or the chosen people, or whoever with the ones with those lights that had that light on them as a people, these people they can't sleep. It's horrible for these motherfuckers at this point in time, because they know that this is what's gonna wake us all the way the fuck up. And once we do this, everything, we get all the respect from the creator, because that's all we need. We don't care about man. They're going to be mad as fuck, and he said it too. They're going to be mad, but so what? I'm going to take you and separate you and set you apart to show why you the You're not a lustful motherfucker, you know what I mean? You got your land already situated for you. You just got to go ahead and bring it down on earth so you can be able to be more mature enough to occupy your land. You're not going to occupy your land with toxic melanin. You go outside and say, oh, it's hot. It's because motherfucker, you're eating fucking beef and you're eating carnivore foods and shit. You know what I mean? That's a carbon-based element right there. It's not even crystalline. If you say something under that, you put that under the microscope, it won't even have a platonic shape, a crystalline shape. Whereas you take a piece of fruit, you put that drop under the motherfucker, it got the flower of life on them type motherfucker. It got crystals. You see dodecahedron shapes, dodecahedrons. You know what I'm saying? The basic platonic shapes. I'm talking about like, you know, the triangle, the square, but it'll be turned into like, it's deep to the cube. That's what we want to be studying. This is part of the Most High's creation. And we study it through the flower of life, you know, how consciousness was able to manifest things in the materiality, which is the be, you know, the all manifested be, or to be born so it can see through the divine equality of itself as the father, the fat and her, with what? The culture that it lives. And that's what we do, naturally, on the little plane. That's dealing with the supreme alphabet. You know, we're dealing with gods and earth, God body. We're going to get that to the whole world. Because, you know, they thought they can shit on the babies of the Most High. We took a sacrifice for that, you know. It came intuitively, and it's going to be shown and proved that the Most High's hands been on Amaru right now with the babies, and nobody had to teach us religiously and none of that, and we still found out how to get into the heavens and shit without none of they motherfucking, without none of they shit. The Most High has used the enemy as a footstool for us to be able to get this information, to release certain things for us to be able to click it together and be like, aha, nigga. Type stuff, you know? So yeah, so basically to get to a spot where I'm able to be able to say something, they got antennas out here, so when they turn these motherfuckers on, people go crazy, man. You can feel it in the world because they keep the cloud cover popping and we don't get the UVs, but it'd be like major shit popping off in the rest of the world because we out here in the middle. It takes a long time to get out here, you know what I mean? It would take a long time by plane and boat. So, you know, they got to go through great extreme when ain't no Muslims around, you know what I'm saying, talking about certain things. They know we're going to get it. So yeah, we do this within the next year, in the year of the Lamb, you know, the Chinese Zodiac, we just link that together real fast. That right there alone, boom. We online, yo. We'll be getting online 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. We have and how to cultivate this energy, because this energy is it's not to be played with. They know and understand it too, that we can harness it. Anything with a weak recessive vessel, they really can't hold this energy too much. That's why they like, you know, niggas for cockholes and stuff like that. Because I got to keep it real like that on that point, because that's what we understand, you know. And, you know, that's why, because your energy in the room, even having sex with another man's wife that's like that, on that lower recessive thinking, that cluster B personality disorder, borderline thinking, submissive thinking, when it comes to that, you know, it'll keep you on their frequency. They want to see, they want to use your kundalini to make them aroused. You know, shit, a pill can't even keep them aroused, but your ass walk in the room, oh man, everything's popping, man. The motherfucking mouth drooling, everything, everybody hard. They can't even turn away from a black man or a Moroccan man, not an African man no more. The spell is breaking. They know and understand that, oh no, these niggas got the sauce. These niggas got the sauce. That's why they want to see you have sex all the time. You know, they want to see you release that light, and it's beautiful to them. That's why you got to cultivate it. You know, you got two lights in you. You got that oil. You know, it's like a yellowish scent. It's produced in the brain. Then you got that milky joint that's produced by the pituitary gland. And it's the land of milk and honey when you get up there, buddy. We all be up there. And they be like, how the hell is you happy around all these motherfuckers? I ain't been out here busting nuts and looking at you motherfuckers all the day and getting in these ruminating thoughts and shit. Doing the best, the motherfucking keep on sitting on the right hand side of the Most High. Because he already told us what the fuck gonna go down and shit. The rumors is war. That's what we hearing now. That's popping off. That ain't the end yet. It's gonna be a lot of things popping off, B. It's gonna be a lot of things popping off. So basically all you have to do is cultivate the inside and let everything else happen on the outside and shit, dude. And this is the way. Can't say we didn't get the way false prophets didn't say it. Only a few of us are gonna get it, and it's gonna be very serious. I'm gonna post some links too. And you know, I'm gonna post some links of a video that I posted a long time ago talking about it, and the video who picked up on what I was talking about, and they typed it in word for word that I typed on the screen while I was working out, and they typed it in. I listened. I was like, damn. Hold on, Becky, they're trying to what you call it real fast. They're trying to sabotage it. Yeah, so they typed it in. So they do some bits and pieces of information what they heard, but I heard mine in that motherfucker. I was like, oh, I like it though. Most I let me know. You know what I mean? So I know our people was able to do it. And once we did, it's a wrap. All the women want us right now. And this is not to hurt anyone, you know. You know, if you want you a woman in this realm, you would definitely cultivate this energy. If you're not really cool with having a woman right now, and then you're just gonna cultivate the energy, you're not gonna be able to have babies. You're not gonna have no seeds and shit. So, but those who cool with having a woman or being dolo or whatnot, or having a woman, this is what you're gonna have to do. You know, for the new age. So women look up to you. You the one that batten her with your culture, with your way of life, how you live, whatever you think. You know, she reflects you. She's wisdom. It's knowledge added on. Yeah. She's the bridge to your understanding, which is the, you know, your seed, the best part. Knowledge is you. Wisdom is the woman. She's the way, the solid ziggles, and it's symbolic to the corporeal reality that we see. And understanding is the completion of why we came together in the first place. And knowledge and wisdom is a conversation, and the understanding is completes it. That completes the cipher. Show that the cipher is complete with divine equality. Equality so happens to born wisdom. But wisdom, the only thing that can born itself. This is why the woman only can give the X chromosome. She ain't giving that Y up. We the determining factor. You're dealing with mathematics or the means, the golden mean. You know what I'm saying? So, if we knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man and woman and child, that's the main trinity we should be focused on in the first damn place. Cultivating our divine feminine and our divine masculine energies. If we're a man or a woman. And this is the way to do it. Take a nigga to get far away to be like, nigga, hey man, this is what it is. Because these motherfuckers throw all kind of motherfuckers out of there. And they throw, if you know what type of nigga he is, if you pop off on a motherfucker quick, they throw any kind of example in front of you and shit. A motherfucker walking down the way with you saying, nigga, most I come to give me love and shit, you know I'm ready. It's true. They're like, yo, motherfucker be popping off. Say, y'all want to grow with you, man? And then next thing you know, start talking and be like, man, the nigga came up on me. They white shit. I was like, nigga came up and the nigga did this. Hold up. All right, most high. But then they give me trying to get anything to trigger a nigga because they low and they kundalini. You know what I mean? You know, because they can't go by 4 or 5 days. They become horny as hell after 4 or 5 days. And you stand around a nigga whose kundalini's up about 4 or 5 months, man, you might bust a nut on yourself. You know, the woman be horny as hell. She can't resist. If you 4 or 5 months up and she's not, you know, women can go a little bit longer right now than men, you know what I'm saying? But about a couple of weeks longer. But she's like 3 weeks in before her period or something like that. And she see you already like 6, 7 months. And you're like, she can barely stand around your ass at that point. I don't care who you is. It's like kundalini. That's the energy. And now you know cultivating your shit every month. The universe knows it. She's attracted to it. She's like, man, there's an aura to this nigga. Man, I really want to go. No, I want to fuck with this nigga. It's just designed to be that way. And the women now are preparing themselves for the man of the right now, getting their asses up. Trying to eat right and exact. Cause they know the niggas starting to eat right and exact. These niggas is starting to getting back into farming and shit. They know that something's coming, nigga. So these niggas gonna have that shit vastly. And it's not like, having, multiple wives is like, it's like a sin. They're gonna say that like, wisely in certain things, but they know the wives are going to agree on certain things. It's like a nigga ain't going to be determined in that, In Africa, they kind of forced it. They sold their babies in certain times and all these different things. But us, it's weird. It was a land of freedom. Like, hey, because everybody got to the top. No bad, though. Make sure that there. Everybody got to the top. So we was like the land of priests, kings, and priest queens and shit. We understood our science, So, yeah, that's how I get down. Hey, what's happening? Let me get down. Life is not real, and it is terrifying when you make the realization. Hey, I like how you said that, but you gotta look at it though. Games are not real. In a game, you can lose, and you can go home and start over again and shit, or you can get a penalty for doing certain things. But in life, you can't lose. You can't afford to lose. You gotta have a winning spirit always. You gotta be victorious. That's why your culture is victorious. It's wisdom. 22, the D letter in the alphabet. So 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 is the D letter in the alphabet, the supreme alphabet, which is divine. Your culture is divine and naturally and supernaturally victorious. If you apply your knowledge and wisdom so you can show your supreme equality and that superb understanding that you got, then yeah, you know what I'm saying? You gotta win. You ain't here to lose. Losers are the ones who they're just cool with losing. I haven't met a champion who was cool with losing. Them niggas never was cool with losing. Even if a champion who never put in the work all the way with themselves, they know they were sad, but they know one day they have to face their own reality like, damn, I didn't put in enough work. You know, they don't like losing. You know, even money ain't even gotta be at stake. Just winning and losing. And winning is the way. And it ain't no game, man. This is for real. This is real life right now, what's going on in the world. So you don't play to lose in anything. Not that I know. Who play to lose unless there's some type of bribery involved? And we're not a bribery type of people. And then when you're dealing with a bribery type of people, that goes back when we're dealing with the Africans. And this is why it's hard for them to be able to get that light to the 33rd chakra. It's almost kind of like the Cain and Abel type shit, you know? That's why, like, you know, when Cain and Abel was like, yo, Most High, it's like, yo, your brother cried out. His blood cried out from the soil. He must have did something to separate us, man. And to separate us as big as the ocean, that we can't talk to each other or something. And we see it now through our communication. Like, oh, damn, this is why you believe this, that, and the third. And, you know, we see the cluster B personalities. We're not going to get invited and no citizenship or nothing. We know we ain't involved with. We go over there, we get bribed for certain things. Walking down the street might be just because, you know, you're dealing with a Cain and Abel type of story. You got the Ethiopian, you know, the Ethiopian Bible, and you got the Islam. But he's dealing with false gods who trying to make themselves the all god. Ain't no water, ain't no milk and honey. The all spirit is like, yo, ain't fucking with them. You know, it's there, but it's not fucking with them like that. Because they do every spirit but the all spirit in our land. And we thought Jesus was dealing with the all spirit. We yelling at him because we was why? We was in spiritual disillusion. The necromancy, all this shit was going on when we had a light at the crown chakra. We talking about fighting, but we're still releasing our, you know, having orgasms with our wives and children and shit. That's what they envied about us, man. That we have the strength to be able to control the ability to eat right and exact, not to want to control nobody else, and our sexual desires. Always did. We never was deadbeat fathers. If you look at it, niggas already had wives across the other side of town that they took care of. Too. It's not like they have sex, like they try to market us, because this is about marketing right now. This is business. You know? Marketing to what? Demographics. That's business, man. That's why you kind of go off grid route real cool. We're dealing with the Most High business. And shout out to all my high priestesses. If God hire you, we're going to fire you. So that's the truth, man. So this is how we tap in, you know. You're going to always be victorious. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't come into life to lose. You're not a loser. You know? It's hot, man. We out here with 95 degrees on, man. We got this crystalline element, man. I got the tiger's claw, seeds, seeded necklace. You know what I'm saying? Chilling. It's probably cold where y'all at or something. I don't know. But at the same time, we chest naked sitting on a lava rock with the crystal stones and shit, getting the charge on. I can see. Not blocking the sun and shit. They trying their best to block the sun with the clouds, but it's coming through. You see when Most High like, eating the liquid fruit, the liquid light. We ain't got no food like that. We homeless. We outside domicile. And I'm out here chest naked doing nothing. You might be at home able to chill out and do what it do. Give glory to the Creator. No one can judge you but the Creator. Basically, go ahead and make sure you don't be busting that nut and going to the bathroom. You want to jiggle the doorknob when you ask, like, hey, what that boy doing in there? You go, huh? You can't control yourself. Our young men, yeah, we ain't finna be on that shit. You strong and a motherfucker. All the women in the world gonna be up on them. They're right, Thuggy down. Why? The Kundalini is gonna be so goddamn high, you ain't gonna be able to be in the room when you gonna bust a nut just by looking at her. Like, God damn. Electromagnetic attraction. Why Most High gonna separate niggas? That's all we have to do. They're gonna be mad as hell. When I say mad, oh, they're gonna be mad. They're doing everything they can right now and shit. I seen the mother, I walk past, I don't even want to tell that one. But that's just going to show it's serious. It's getting serious. And it's getting by the day. Man, your Kundalini rises by the day. That means your testosterone rises by the day. You cultivating your feminine energy. Now all these things is coming into you being real creative. You'll never know, let the right hand know what the left hand's doing when it's coming to that type of thing. You know what I mean? Look at little thugs right here. This is a sparrow. Come here, man. Come here. He's like, oh, nigga, you gotta have something to eat for a nigga. You gotta have something to eat for a nigga. I said, hey, cool. So yeah, you know, getting the light to the crown chakra, the 33rd vertebrae. This is how we cultivate it every month. So you go, whatever your sun sign is, if you're like whatever, you can say Capricorn or whatnot. So whenever that moon gets in Capricorn, you're gonna be horny as a motherfucker for 48 hours, basically, however long that moon's gonna be in there. Don't bust a nut. You know what I'm saying? You start easing down, and then you start raising up, and you'll be back cool again. Now it's about you just doing it, because it's hard to make decisions when you have cloudy visions, meaning that you eating the wrong foods, spiritually disconnecting yourself further. You're eating carnivore foods, and your body's not even made to be like a carnivore and shit. You know how these birds is eating? These birds ain't out here eating everything. They're not scavenger birds. Most I already got this shit mapped out. It's like, damn, well, we just doing a knowledge to it. And they're like, oh, you got such thing as scavengers. We got dove-eaters eat seeds. We got birds that kill birds of prey. There's different classes and different classes of spirits within those birds. And animals. You got omnivores, you got carnivores, you got frugivores. They all got different digestive systems, because why? The Most High made it that way. Look at that nigga, that's a sparrow. Most High made it that way, that's why. So we're just here to study it. To study the wisdom of the all-creator that's already made manifest to be born for us to see. Like I say, the divine equality. Look at that right there. You all right? That's greedy. You okay, greedy? That's greedy. Yeah, so you just come to see, like, damn, what you is supposed to be doing. Like, I ain't supposed to be eating that shit. I ain't a carnivore. I got these type of teeth, you know what I mean? I got juicers and shit, big ass juicers. You know, damn near domino teeth and shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no grinders. I ain't up here grinding food. Been like this since 97, 96. Oh, my teenage years. I was a teenager. I watched Pop. I remember the day he died, when it all happened. The 7 days when it went down and everything. It was right the day after my birthday. And then we celebrated my homie's birthday the week after. It was up on 38th in Chicago, where George Floyd got killed at. Yeah, that's where I was at. Right down that block, right where he was at, looking at the camera. That's where he was at, right there. So if you took where he was looking at, that's where we were standing at when I got the news of Tupac. Yeah, it passed or whatnot. You know, I'm 17 years old. I'm trying to throw you down. Spiritually connected, man. Basically not eating that much food too, dude. You know, when you don't eat that much food, you be more clear, your gut's clear. So you don't have them cloudy visions at all and shit. So that helps too. Fruit, berries, and melons, that also helps. You won't have to eat as much. We're gonna have some supernatural aminos too, real soon. That's gonna be on the athletic channel. Right now we're on the building channel, because you know we got the hood. You know, it ain't just goody two-shoe over here, man. You know what I mean? We had to go, even the biggest and best of saints had to live some of the harshest of lives to even become that point. So that's how Most High made it, man. All glory and honor to the Creator. That's true. To all spirits. That's how we're gonna start trusting ourselves again too. We ain't gonna be lying. You're gonna see right through a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna know if a person you're gonna have to be up 14 months. Then it goes to the years if you're really serious after that. You know, every 7 years you get to 21. That's 21 years. You're up. That's too deep to talk about to a month, but that's for the serious ones. In 7 months, you know, it's by sevens. 7, 14, 21. You know, those are the months that are the key months on your body, as far as like that. And also in the spirit, in the years form too. There are just octaves, basically. You go from one octave to the next octave, and the next octave to the next octave. You get this mastering octave. Now you're able to play spiritual notes and tones and to reach further spirits and to be in contact with higher spirits outside of the firmament. You're like a piano and shit. They're right there, you does. Say something else, but yeah, man. So getting that light to the 33rd vertebrae, man, you get it. You'll feel it. By the time you get to the 4th month, you're gonna feel so great, forgiving, loving and shit. But that 4th month phase, that lasts for that 4th month. You can maintain that. 5th month, things get to changing up. 6th month, you really lit. You're lit at that point, dude. I'm just saying, you want to get at a stable point. 7th month, you're right there. You're about to be outside the body. This is where you get all them attacks. You get all them attacks when we hit them because they know you're serious. The universe knows you're serious. And they know that we all serious. So they can't have all of them everywhere at all times. So you get those shits up. It's on like hot butter popcorn. Then you'll rest until about the 12th month. What happens on all the cycles? I got to that cycle like about 4 or 5 times. And I'm like, you know, I'm on the other end of the 40s. I told you, man, I was around when Tupac was around. That music he made was about self, man. All that. Remember what my papa, all that, man, everything that he said. I was one of the rare ones that are able to get up out of there that wasn't no punk type shit, no salty type shit. Some niggas was making it out of there because they was right at the party, but not at the party. We're at the party. We in the party, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We got the dope, the weed, the guns, nigga. We 13, 14, 15 years old. Mama don't love us for real, man. We see in the house with the babies for real running around. Mom is 15 years old, 16 years old. She got 4 babies in the house. Babies smelling like shit and piss, man. We in the other room probably shaking dice, doing whatever, nigga. We only 15, 16 with the coldest of motherfucking gear on. Stealing cars, buying cars, selling cars. You know, making thousands of dollars. We ain't know nothing about getting no goddamn on. Business, man. If any business, what we gonna do? Get a laundromat? We ain't no shit. It's deep, man. And we was trained into that shit. So for us to make it up out of that, man, it means something. Most of it means something. Because we was at a time where we weren't really doing the killing was always happening. But it weren't just for fun. It started to be like that around that time. So the babies of those niggas that was kind of doing it, that generation, they're the ones that's kind of doing it that you see growing up. Like, me and they mamas is like the same type of age and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen them little niggas in the houses and shit. And then, you know, we running around. Nobody's teaching them. No fathers running around, you know, up in the house telling them, like, I raised 7 of them. And I got 2 biological. And I raised ones that weren't even mine. Weird ones that weren't even mine. That were mine biological. And did the best that I could. You know what I'm saying? It's more than money. You have to be able to be in the face of a man. A child, you growing up, young men, different stages too. They just more than little kids. You got to be different stages. They turn 7. They turn, you know, you got to go to the school. They turn, you know, 10, 11, and 12, 13 years old. They smelling their own balls and shit now. They didn't want to huff up a little bit. You know, you got to learn how to handle these without even hurting them and shit. I had to raise up men up to men. They 30 years old now, 25, 20-something years old, man. Certain things, man. You know, I was able to get that type of stuff under the belt, you know, but and these are the babies. These babies, man, they like I say, them babies I seen growing up, yeah, I know they was gonna have a harsh life, G. Cause I was like, damn, Most High, please bless these babies. And I could see what Pac was talking about, but I couldn't see it all the way. Cause we was in like a spell, losing friends. I lost so many friends, man. Like in 1990, it's 90. Oh man. I ain't gonna count 91, but you know, that's when it started happening because things started changing and it's the latest we wanna know. But when 93, 94, 95 hit, and 96, yeah man, because 95 was the year everybody was going through it, I guarantee you. I lost a lot of friends who was numb going to funerals, man, like just numb. I was a pallbearer at my best friend's funeral, you know. Another friend killing another friend. This is all I said it was gonna happen in you know, the book of Matthews too. Friends gonna betray friends. Family's gonna betray family and shit. But you with me, man, I got you, big dog. I used to pray for all my friends. We was thugs too. I used to pray for us before we go outside and shit. They'll be quiet too. They ain't even say shit. Them niggas get quiet with a motherfucker and shit. I'm praying like boom, boom, boom. All right, y'all, let's go. We back outside and shit. Once time to come through. Shooting at niggas was like a regular thing every day and shit, man. That's crazy. You know, but yeah, this is why this is important. This information is very important because if you can survive that type of shit, dog, it means something. You know what I'm saying? That means it's serious. Like, what can you do now? Because if I didn't get mathematics when I was 16, I didn't know what the hell would have did. Mathematics saved my life. I didn't know what the hell would have happened. I didn't know what would have happened with my life, really, with that part. Because my friends went to jail. I had a friend, my cousin, he was like my cousin. He went to jail for, they sentenced him to 99 years. 99 months and 99 days, man. like to make fun. And I remember we were going up into Cup Foods on 38th in Chicago, and I'm like, they were the George Floyd time, and my boy, my other homie, he was with me and shit, but we seen the newspaper, and it was like, man, his bail was $1 million. And it was like, $1 million? And he was the realest in the hood. We was the close. We was real close, the realest. You know, he had the ones with the juice. The ones with the juice do all the shit. It's only a few of them that's in the hood that'll do it, depending on how big the city is. You know what I'm saying? He was one of them. It was terrifying when they see his ass, man. And so, you know, and it was like, my boy laughed. I was kind of like, man, me and him, he was kind of one of them niggas I had to watch out for, which I ended up learning that later on. But anyhow, though, about a year later, same thing happened to my boy that laughed. They hooked him in for $1 million bail and shit. So he had to sit down and do some time. We ended up breaking up as friends. We was dead music and all this shit, but it was like, you know, they kind of try to, you know, betray a nigga and shit. So things went down with that type of shit. He got sentenced. But my cousin that got sentenced in that 99 years, he just got out, which was a year and a half ago. Got out after doing 25 years and shit. And he didn't even go to the prison. He didn't go to jail for the dirt that he did do. That's how Most High was on his life. And I knew he was spiritual too. That's a real ass thing. That's my nigga. Alright. I'll probably do an interview with him sometime in the future and shit. Cause it's on like Hop Out of Pom. He right up there on George Floyd, all that shit. On that block where all that happened at. So yeah, man, it's important because when we do this, man, we do this Kundalini, it's not this exercise, this Kundalini cultivation. All of us around the world is gonna raise the vibration of the plane instantly, like instantly. And it's not gonna take long at all. It's gonna take not even a year for the whole world to change. We start today. Start today. It's gonna be a Sabbath. It's gonna be Sabbath. The true Sabbath is gonna be on Tuesday. All right. So this Tuesday, some of our brothers celebrated Sabbath on Saturday. But the true Sabbath is when the moon is going to be the new moon. So the new moon is going to be this Tuesday. It's going to be a new moon in Libra. So the energy in Libra can allow you to start new things and balance yourself out. Libra is about that. It's the Empress energy. It's a sword. It's in the tarot. It's a sword energy. It's a King of Sword, Queen of Sword. You know, you can use your mental energy now to be able to decipher certain things if it's right or wrong or whatnot or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? But you can use these energies now in the Zodiac to benefit you with the moon sign, with the moon being in that sign at the new moon. That's the true Sabbath. So yeah, this Sabbath, you can use that energy to start. Like, yo, man, I'm gonna start something new. I'm gonna balance my energies out, man. I'm gonna go ahead and roll with it. Because Most High already put the blueprint up there. We just gotta start, you know, from our own understanding, add on to the cipher, which is consistent of truth, which is energy, force, and magnetism. Can't nothing false be in the cipher. And we're gonna have spiritual ciphers too, where we allow us to get into the game where we can build on our own understandings without having a big eye, little you perspective of hurting one another. Like, yo, I don't want to get in the cipher because I may not say the right thing, and some God may be like, no, God, that's not a cipher, God. It's like it. Some guys are like that, you know what I mean? Because they feel they have their passion to their lessons as well. But at the same time, you know, they have to check their cluster B personality disorder, which is dealing with big eye, little you, narcissism type of thing too, as well. You know, this is how we're gonna grow as a nation once again, the nation of gods and earth. So, with that being said, man, I really don't want to hold it too long, but I just wanted to make sure, you know, that this is the prime directive right now. What's going on? This is the prime thing. What's going on is celibacy this year, because we tried the last few years. I mean, I've been on there. I know that individuals probably relapse and all these different things, but right now it's really important. You know, it couldn't be more important than right now. It's been years for me. So if you were like 15 when I started celibacy, you're like 21 now or some shit. You know what I'm saying? If you were 21 when I started, you're about like 26, 27. You know what I'm saying? If you're like 27, you're in your 30s now when I started. You know what I mean? So what does this go to show you? Shit's real. We got an example now. And when all of us do it, we start putting together our energies and shit. Well, now we have our own form of currency. It may be married marijuana. Who can grow the best herb? We'll start trading herb amongst each other and shit. You know, we're finding a way to trade because we got land. We don't need that little shit. We just have to defend it with our Kundalini energy. That's when we have the griffins, all that shit. Everything's waking up, man. And it only gonna roll with with niggas who's cultivating their shit. Enemies come through, they gotta be low because they're coming to kill, steal, or destroy. What the fuck you coming through unannounced anyways? And you know niggas don't play no shit like that coming through unannounced. Niggas will announce their way. A lot of people don't think that niggas will tell you when they're coming to do things. That's how I let you know that guy's a nigga and shit. When they say, and niggas like, yo, man, we finna come through in 2 months. You better have shit ready because we're da-da-da-da. An alien can tell you, may not know the day or time I'm arriving, but you know around the damn air time, whatever the month and shit, you know, it's somewhere around there. You know, and the reason why niggas always tell you what they want to do, they want to show and prove that they do it. We're from a prophetic culture. Like, nigga, we want to show you the work it puts in to make this shit come out so you can see it. That's why they asked Muhammad Ali, when you gonna knock the nigga out? Oh, man, I'm gonna knock him out. We was catching play, man, 4th round, and 4, he must go. They want to see that shit. They're like, damn, because he's just like God. They know that, you know, so they want to see it in the flesh. And they know that when they see Michael Jordan do all this shit, they're like, damn, niggas are like this. They're relentless. They're resilient. They'll never stop. They're gonna always go until they win. They'll adapt to whatever way they need to do to be able to win the game or to win at all costs. They see that Michael Jordan spirit is like us. You know what I mean? That we'll do it. But at the same time, on our low self, we may not even help one another climb up. We won't tell one another how to do things. But at the same time, we can learn from what that individual does, and you don't have to do it his exact way. You may use your energy to help another individual. It may not have to be me, I'm gonna take this and do this, you know? But this age, we're gonna do it differently. It's through our Kundalini. That's how we're gonna see our truth. That's why we gotta do the raising of the raising of the light within, because once it gets there, once every month it raises up every chakra, you're gonna be on point, and I'll be with you. Shit. Yeah, just to wrap it up. But some of the land in different places, Arizona, whatever, it's getting cleared up a little bit. You know what I mean? The niggas is finna get up in there. Hold on, y'all. So yeah, everybody want to do business with us. You know what I mean? They want to come through and see what we're doing, how we making it happen. You know, they just want to see. It's more than just money. They want to see how joy. We have happiness, man. That's the currency of the universe. You have happiness. You want to spread that shit. No one just be walking around. People like I see out here. People in paradise be sad. They try to walk to you with the sadness. Like it be men too, man. Like Caucasian men and some of the islanders who don't know no better if they mixed in a little bit, because this is where a lot of the Hawaiian culture and the whole Pacific Island culture, I feel like they're part of the tribes of Israel as well. You know, that they're going through because they mixed in with the foreigners, and you know a lot of things is happening with that situation, and their ancestors are starting to get things in order, and they know it knocking around too and shit. So, and I love them niggas. I love them niggas, the Samoans, the Tongans, the Hawaiians, the Fijians, and the Tahitians, man. Of all of them, because you know their land's been taken over too. They've been surrounded by the enemy on all sides too. And some of the Micronesians, you know, their land they've been taken to lands to do work. They haven't really went through a lot of the hell like as such. There's a lot of things that go on behind that, but as far as this divine triangle out here, they've been through things as well. It's a story about what's going on out here as well. You know, it's very deep, and we're all connected. We're all going through this together. We're all part of the tribes. They have the ability to see spiritual things just as us, you know. It's like we're in the time of the planet of the apes and shit. The ape is running the planet right now. And we're like, damn, it's not like the ape. Like they think about niggas like, oh, the ape. Like, it's going to be that in the future. And they were the human. And now niggas are the apes. And we run it. Like, no, nigga, we ain't Caesar, motherfucker. You're the ape. You're Caesar, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We sat down, taught you how to read and shit. Well, we didn't do it, but they did. We taught you some other shit because we seen that you were capable of catching on to things. I'm like, oh, can't show this. But it was like, man, we thought you get it after a while of the idolize and divide and discard of hurting a nigga and shit. Seeing that nigga, you really gonna kill a nigga type shit, walking with the rope. Like you see, it's crazy because you see what pictures being taken after niggas know that, okay, y'all will follow through with this. It's like some niggas are like, damn, man, you really is gonna do this? Like what possesses you to do this? Why? You must not be a true man. You gotta be mankind to do this. And somebody sent your ass too. Somebody taught you octagon. Anyhow though, it's getting deep, man. This is getting a little deep. Hold back. Oh, they feel the jewel coming. I'm gonna wrap it up with this though. Anytime, anything you can do that can harm that life and get into the crown chakra, I'm gonna tell you what it really is. Anything that is just like eating horrible foods, drinking a lot of alcohol and shit like that from a real spirit that they done already cursed, basically, for your ass. And reckless sex, really, that's what stops it, you know. It's a hard thing for people to do in this day and age. So you got to cut those out if you want to get that crown, get that light to the crown chakra. Dougie Dubs, y'all good? Y'all good? Y'all Gucci? Everybody's cool? All right, so I guess I get to the next spot. But yeah, the order to cultivate the energy, you can't be drinking. I guess I get to the next spot. But yeah, the order to cultivate the energy, you can't be drinking excessive liquor or, you know, or I want to say sex. And it's like mainly three things. You know what I'm saying? Excessive liquor, sex, anything that's just bad habits and shit, like horrible habits that'll keep you away from cultivating that energy. It could be self-doubt, you know, dealing with the custody because they attack us on all levels. You know, when you get that borderline personality, a highly sexual being, it could be a woman or a man, you know, which is they can self-sabotage easily and quickly. It's like things you think things is going down right. You've been with a girl like, damn, she's so goddamn sexy, she's banging. I'm like, I don't know how they don't like her and shit. Her titties is perky, or whatever it is. The same, vice versa for a male or for a woman, male and woman or whatever. But they happen to switch up out of nowhere. You be like, how'd you switch up? You know, you both got the custody or the borderline to a degree, but one is fuse is just a little bit shorter. You know, they may believe that you may leave them quick enough, and they'll do something to sabotage the relationship, like have sex with another motherfucker or your friend, because hey, he ain't cultivate his kundalini or her or whatnot. So of course they're gonna be weak and they're gonna give in. They can tell, and you can tell people on the kundalini. Everybody knows who's weak enough to give in through the eye across the room and shit. Like, are you gonna do this? You covered it, this man and woman. You know what she gonna, you know, shit like that, or a man, or it happens, right? So in order to get back right in his act, especially the solo ones, because we got a big job to do, man. It's a huge job, and it's fun too for those who really want to do it. Because we're gonna need celibate teachers, celibate workers. You know, when I say workers, I'm talking about skilled workers. You know, doulas, midwives. You know, construction, HVAC technicians or whatever. We're not gonna be building a village where it's like we're gonna have smooth, nice village, smooth shit too. You know what I mean? Because we can build it. You know, and we got to be just on point. Got to get the babies up out the system. Who gonna get the babies? You know what I'm saying? I'm just serious. This is serious shit, man. This is not like this ain't no bullshit. If it ain't for you, it ain't for you. But you know, the babies got to get up out the system. The orphans, you know, they getting our babies left and right. You know, most times with the orphans. If you see any black baby, I don't care what they say, and they would have grabbed the family. Just you go ahead and say, hey, tell them something positive. They'll look at you. Some of them, they look at the internet all day, and they know who he is. They know who he is, and they wanted to say, I see him coming up. Hey man, I like your hair. If they got dreads and stuff, I'm like, I like yours too. They want to hear that back, because you know, in their form of cluster B percent, because they probably been raised by sociopaths, psychopaths, not nobody that's truly healed. We know, you know, you'll see individuals when they get older and they become grown. What's up, y'all? Yeah, so anyhow, though, you know, all these things going down. So, you know, we're gonna need all of those things. We have our own, we'll have our own sports, you know, having fun, make our own courts and fields. It doesn't matter. People want to see us, and if we can broadcast, we'll just broadcast our life, you know. Over there, they got this big giant cloud that they done use these little antennas to make over here. I gotta get out of the town and get fucking sunlight and shit. And like, he's in town now. But yeah, that being said, I love y'all, and make sure you don't spill the seed. I'll do it later.